What up, everyone? This is Mr. Lord Dr. Professor Dark Joker here with another edition of Traditional Fans with Opinions, where I'll give my reviews for whoever I watched, read, or played today. And who are traditional fans with opinions? That is myself, and that is you, the viewers. With all that being said, on with the reviews. Chainsaw Man, chapter 228. So in this chapter, Chainsaw Man's like captured by Yoru. Then Chainsaw Man like is somehow able to escape. He like breaks the chain whatever. He starts like trying to escape. Like he doesn't really have any arms or legs, so he's kind of like somewhat trying to force himself away. Then so Yoru then gets, I guess, manifests a chainsaw like motorcycle or something, which honestly it looks pretty freaking cool. And so Chainsaw Man's running away. And the thing like, and I guess some dude's trying to crawl past, and well, that guy gets cut in half by Yoru. And so Chainsaw Man's trying to find blood to like regenerate himself. So like he just has an arm. He has one arm, the other one arm's gone, two legs are gone. Like he's messed up. So he finds like a dead bird, so he tries to eat the blood of the bird. Yoru like tries to drive away from them, avoids it, and falls off, hits the wall, and another bird like another bird I guess flies off or something. And so Yori's just laying there, and she's wondering why, and the blood's going, and she's wondering why the wound will heal. And then yeah, so basically Chainsaw Man says that the way however her contract was worded, basically the Americans will shoulder attacks against her. So basically, since she crashed the motorcycle herself, through the way the injuries didn't heal because it's not an attack on herself. She did the injuries to herself. And then I guess inside of yours, right? Asta asks Yor why she avoided the dove. And so yours says because Asta hates it when birds are killed. So it looks like there's some past memory regarding Asta and birds. I don't recall if it's been brought up in previous chapters. I don't remember because I don't recall anything regarding the bird. But yeah, I thought it was a good chapter. It was interesting. So looks like there's about to be a conversation between Yoru and Asta. We'll see like how that goes. The fight's probably about to come to an end between Chainsaw Man and Yoru. So yeah, I thought it was a good chapter. Looking forward to the next one. Yoroi Shinden Samurai Troopers episode 5. So in this episode, yeah, so the Samurai Troopers they're fighting Ramaga, with Shion. And so Ryusei arrives, basically it's revealed that he was given like this pin whatever by Rio, so the original Red Trooper. Um Basically even though Ryusei is green, basically Rio said that he has like a spirit of righteousness in him that and basically entrusts him with leading the Samurai Troopers. Basically before I guess disappearing. And then yeah, so one of the things that happens is that so Ryusei arrives, so Ramaga reveals to be the one who cursed um Ryusei. And so he cursed him And then so basically there's a fight, and so Guy tries to fight, and so but it's not a poison that kills. It's a poison that basically is supposed to turn Ryusei evil. So Ryusei basically gets like gradually he gets like he starts turning into a monster, and then everyone tries to fight him. Guy's able to use his power. He basically remembers being told that the Retrobreath should be able to dispel the Demon Emperor's like power, so he uses it on Ryusei, believing it could purge him of the poison, but Ramaga says that that power didn't originate from the demon realm, so it ends up seemingly killing Ryusei. Saying seemingly in case he ends up being alive. Like, if he ends up being alive later. Like if he ends up being alive later, who knows? So that's why I'm saying seemingly. Now, where things could come, so Guy then does it, he gets pissed. And so one of these happens when Guy he remembers he starts seeing Samurai Heart, which that in the original Samurai Trooper show, that's the second opening. He starts seeing it, and that he uses it to give a rhythm for his attack that he uses to defeat Ryusei. And so you hear Samurai Heart playing, and I remember I was watching, I was like, this sounds familiar. Ain't this one of the openings from the main show, from the original show? I was like, oh crap, it is. So yeah, so then Guy attacks Ramaga and knocks his mask off. Ramaga is revealed to be Rio. So he's the current so the Yoja Emperor, Demon Emperor, is the original Red Samurai Trooper. Now that leads to a question of how is Guy his son? Cause so yeah, because I'm trying to think of when they reveal so I'm trying to remember so the so basically what happened to the original samurai troopers is so I'm trying to remember how many years they revealed I think how long it had been because I don't think it was too long they haven't been trapped there for too long I don't think so it's like okay so is he adopted so is Guy adopted did he bane some demons sometime in the some point in the past. Yeah, so and yeah, so basically, uh, at least the question where the other ones, where are the other samurai? What happened to them? Are they dead? So, and no, at least question. Okay, what happened years ago? So, if I recall correctly, like, I believe it. Yeah, so if I recall, so it hasn't been that long. So it was 5 years before this show that the original group of troopers, um, yeah, so the original group of troopers, they're so they disappeared. So what we don't know what happened. So possibly something happened that caused Rio to maybe be possessed. So Ramaga, I guess, if he's not just an avatar of Ramaga, and the real Ramaga just somewhere still inside of the demon, which might be the case, because that could explain his motivation with Guy, that Rio was possessed by Ramaga because he needed a body, and now he needs Guy for the same role. Now there's an AIDS issue there, so if Guy is um Ramaga's son, if Ramaga is just possessing Rio and is not actually Rio turned evil, then okay, that is something they could work with. If it's just okay, you just did some character assassination thing, okay, let's not do that. Like, cause I mean, I have some issues. I mean, it's like having me. I have some concerns with Jujutsu Kaisen Monola with Yuji, but they're not turning him evil. It's just everyone else around him is basically died off, and he's like alone. But this one's like, okay, turning one of their main heroes evil with like no development that makes sense. Like, that's not the right way to go. Like with Jim Phelps and Mission Possible, that pissed everyone off. Then you have some good ones like Jason Solo in Star Wars. Like Jason Solo, like that development from hero to villain, holy crap, it's incredible. Like it's done very well. And so I don't know if if my guess odds are if Guy is actually Ramaga's son, Rio's a vessel then. That's not actually like Rio is just a vessel for Ramaga. It's not actually Rio in control. And that is something they could work with. Like have the new Red Trooper free the original from basically mind control. And it does lead to questions: what happened to the other four? Well, like the other samurai troopers, like are they dead? Odds are they're dead then. So yeah, I'm interested. I mean, I have concerns, but I will watch the next episode. So hopefully it doesn't just do a bunch of character assassination stuff because we've had enough of that bull crap in Hollywood. Blue Exorcist, chapter 166. So in this chapter, so Satan's heart is like exploding, like in power. It's like basically like all of like that whole demon realm where it's like being affected. So everyone's trying to figure out what's going on, and then and basically yeah. So yeah. So then it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. So everyone's trying to figure out what's going on. So like the landscape is all changed. So people are having difficulty to breathe. And so basically, Satan is like doing some of this demonic power, and it's expanded, and basically could swallow the whole planet. And then like time and space are like being messed up, so like it's like soon like humans and demons won't exist there. And basically now they just gotta deal with the heart. And like Mephisto's like in the form of the dog, and like so and things like Red ass, why are you still look like that? Mephisto's like basically says he'll show his stuff when the time comes. Until then, he's a dog. So, he's a time demon. So, obviously he can. There are different things. So the there's my guess is it looks like there might be a time travel thing about to happen with a character. I don't know which character, but a time travel plot point seems to be about to happen. So we'll see how that goes. Then Lucifer appears, and like, and Mephisto, and you know Mephisto says he can't fight him because basically he's since he's time and Lucifer's light. If they clash, the whole world will be destroyed. And Lucifer says he'll defend Satan's heart, and then Lucifer is attacked by Paladin Arthur A. Angel. he's like basically so then they start fighting and that's good. That looks like that's gonna be a cool fight. And then attack comes and you see lightning appear. And so yeah, so Esquine is interesting. So you have lightning involved with this as well. So yeah, that's gonna be a big fight with those three. And then like some guy here, and it's just one of the possessed kids from the first chapter that Fujimoto exorcised. And so Yukio says that Shiratori, who's that kid, basically was exorcised, but the order determined that he could be a vessel for the King of Rot, Astaroth. So the Knights of the True Cross observed him. And then the guys are basically to reveal, yeah, so the guy like in that buy says, yeah, he is Astaroth, the King of Rot. Yeah, so and basically he serves Satan. Now he wants to serve his successor, but he hasn't not happy with Ren's side with humans, so he wants to as he says, wake him up. So then basically he says he'll kill Yukio in order to wake up Ren. Yukio shoots Astaroth in the head. You know, and basically so the girls run off, and so Ren and Yukio then start preparing to fight Astaroth. So yeah, so it looks like that's gonna be a fight. Looks like those are the fights we're dealing with right now. So that should be interesting. We should see how that goes. So yeah, I thought it was a good chapter. I like how they're so you're setting up the next big fights. Obviously, it's like the final fight will involve Satan's heart. Like that's gonna be big. However that goes, where it's an actual fight, or it just becomes like a talk no jutsu thing. Who knows? Probably a little bit of both. I mean, it's a shonen series, so it's of course there's some talk no jutsu going on. But yeah, overall, I thought it was a good chapter. And so like they're introducing the next fights, and we're definitely at the climax. And I'm wondering, okay, what is Mephisto about to do here? Like, what is Mephisto about to do? Like involving Satan? Like he says, so like Mephisto knows something. I mean, he's the time demon, so obviously he knows something. You know, like he knows something. I mean, and of course it's probably something like someone who can't, they can't see because due to the way the time portal. So like, because Ren wasn't seen whenever his flame powers were so like the whole deal is like his powers couldn't be like he wasn't seen when he was in the past observing Fujimoto and then his mother. Like he couldn't, like he wasn't able to be seen. He could see all them, but he couldn't be seen. Which is why so he was like an observer, but the only one who knew he was there was Mephisto. But yeah, so I'm interested in how that goes. But yeah, I thought it was a really good chapter. Looking forward to the next one. Memory of a Killer episodes 1 through 3. So this is a new show that's been going on. So the first two episodes were last week. Third episode was this week. Yeah, I remember seeing about it. I forgot it was airing. But yeah, looked interesting, so I watched these episodes. So yeah, so you have like a hitman named Angelo. He works for Dutch. So Angelo's played by Patrick Dempsey, and Dutch is played by Michael Imperioli. So of course, Imperioli famous for playing, Christopher Moltisanti in, The Sopranos. And so, yeah, so basically in the first episode, there's a concern with, so Angelo kill like one of the people he kills is a brother of a crime family captain named Carl Mosher. Angelo is very concerned. So Angelo beats Mosher to death to basically deal with it. And he has Alzheimer's, so he starts having some issues. And like his brother also has some issues with that. And lives in assisted living. And so his when he's eating like brunch with his pregnant daughter Maria and her husband, Angelo sees a red dot on Maria and he tackles her just in time to prevent a sniper bullet from killing her. Now it does graze her, and Angelo tries to pursue the hitman, but the shooter escapes. And then it's revealed that the guy responsible for a hit and run that killed Angelo's wife has been released from prison. And so there were concerns about him seeking retaliation. Turns out that's not what that had happened. So, but he had over because the guy was a suspect, and he heard something about someone, um, like being like he heard like someone like over someone talking about killing some girl. It must have been that, but he doesn't know who. He didn't know that it was Maria. So Angelo finds the hitman and kills the guy. But before the guy dies, here it's revealed that he was hired by a guy called the Ferryman. So then there's a mystery about who the Ferryman is. And then you have, agent FBI agent Linda Grant, in the area, try to investigate the shooting, and becomes suspicious. And she becomes suspicious of Angelo due to how he reacted to the shooting, react like how he was able to prevent it, and some of his actions. So she starts interested in investigating him, and then so Angelo's Alzheimer's issues are becoming more liability for him. So that's going to be a big thing. And yeah, so then Dutch gets Angela to kill a internal affairs agent who's trying to investigate who has evidence against them and two cops on basically in their payroll. Now Angela uses Joe, who's like a basic guy working under him, to get intel. They learn he's diabetic. Their first plan is to spike his insulin to make it look like an accident. So they don't want to end up being a murder investigator. But it's revealed that, well, while trying, Angela learns that McGee, who's one of the three cops, is a it basically is trying to turn state's evidence against them. And Angelo kills McGee, and then then Maria is trying to procure a gun in order to protect herself, in case someone tries again, because she doesn't know about what's going on in regards to yeah. So then there's like a flashback to when Angelo killed Robert Park, and Park's words were that he got it wrong. So Angela is having some doubt in regards to Dutch, and I guess his past, working for Dutch. So it hints at Dutch being a potential antagonist for Angelo, which that could be interesting, seeing how it goes. And we'll say okay, the FBI is going to play a role. Obviously you have because obviously there was the whole issue of killing a cop. A lot of times mops and one themes in mobster films, and I guess somewhat probably real life as well. A lot of mobsters, like the organized crime, they don't go after cops a lot, because that brings a lot of heat. They just buy them off if they can. like because killing cops brings a lot of heat because they don't play that way regardless of who you are. This is why a lot of organized crime they don't go after cops. So that's even brought was like how like are we sure we want to do that? I mean they're talking about like are we sure we want to kill a cop? Like we're sure about this. And so like that's brought and that was interesting how they discuss it and dealing with like the ones who are dirty ones who are like turning against it. They're like okay we gotta make an example. So yeah, I thought these were good episodes. Interest in the show. The reviews are not too positive right now, but I enjoyed it. I've enjoyed these episodes. But yeah, I like these episodes. Looking forward to the next one. Well, and that's it. Did y'all like the stuff I reviewed? And if you have your own opinions about all that, you can put all that in the comments. Thank you for watching, and like, subscribe, and all that. And look forward to the next video.